Hi everyone, welcome back to this week weekly market update. So let's take a look what happened on last Friday, and things to watch out for the coming week, especially at current stage where there's wars going on, market is very volatile, things are going to change fast. So just be cautious on your portfolio. Remember to protect it well with stop loss or hedging as long as you are well protected, or reduce your exposure if possible as well. So we know that on last Friday itself, market is not performing well. Dow has dropped more than 350 points. S&P 500 closed in the correction territories, and it's actually a brutal week for last week itself. So many reasons. One of the biggest reason right now everyone is paying attention is the Gaza war, the Israel war, right? So it's very chaotic over there. I think for political wise aside, I mean, I leave you guys to digest yourself. But on the market itself, right, we can see that mainly JP Morgan shares have actually dropped because when the CEO actually came out to plan to sell 1 million shares, and also things to watch out for is Meta and Alphabet. These two companies actually dragged down the Nasdaq, I guess, most likely. Both of them actually didn't perform well on last week performance. All right, even though their earnings report is not bad for Meta, but like I said, there's three bearish signal for Meta, right, which I mentioned in my Facebook page. If let's say you have paid attention, you can see that I did mention Tesla three signal of bearish sign, which is come true, and then just to watch out, I will be going through later as well. So on last Friday, not only on that, Ford actually dropped 40%. I think it break the all-time support, whereby I thought there would be a rebound, but it didn't. And not only on that, for the oil industry, as you can see, Chevron, ExxonMobil, a lot actually have been dropping. It's somehow showing a sign of the oil industry. But I believe that when we come to war, right, oil should actually go higher. So we are looking to the chart where will the oil end up with later as well, because we or I perhaps say that it may end up at $100 territory before the end of 2023. So we will take a look from there as well. So of course, earnings report is also coming up for the next week itself. So this is the earnings release for next week. If let's say you want to pay attention on certain products like or certain company like, especially the first one is Apple, I think Nasdaq has been holding, or perhaps it will drop even worse if let's say Microsoft didn't perform well last Friday itself. I think Nasdaq is being supported by, sorry, I'm not sure it's Amazon or Microsoft. I think it's Amazon. Otherwise, it will be worse off. Okay, so we will take a look into the chart right now and see how it performs. So for Dow Jones itself, right, we can see that this is what I predicted in 2 weeks ago. It may revisit 33,300 or 33,000. Eventually, it revisited and then it go even lower, as you realize. So this is what I draw from the arrow itself, 40 October. Go and watch on my last video on 40 October. You will see these two arrows actually I draw beforehand. So last 14 October, I say that it may be a rebound for us to go higher to short it down. So if you manage to catch it, then congratulations to you. So where will we be ending up for Dow Jones itself instead? So let's just remove the arrow right now. Okay, the first one where we will be looking at is actually the 200 days weekly moving average. This is where we will be looking. Just nice coincide with the support here. So we will be drawing at around 31,800. Okay, so this is what we will be looking at for next week for Dow Jones Index. Whether will there be any rebound at this area? All right, so then I will just do a quick update. So this is 28. Immediate support eyeing 31,800. 200 week moving average. Okay, so this is what we will be looking at right now. Of course, if let's say you're asking what happened if let's say otherwise, right? Otherwise, we shall see this will be supported as well. So as long as it's still respecting the trend itself, I mean this minimum downtrend or this descending resistance, then it should be played around in this area. Okay, so we'll be eyeing at 31,800, and then we see whether it penetrates. So because we all know that if price fall below 200 days moving average, it's actually the start of the change of the bearish, correct? From the bull to the bearish. As you can see that 200 days moving average actually hold quite well for a couple of times. All right, so but our current situation is really chaotic. At this point of times, I'm not going to create any more chaotics, but we just work based on what the chart is showing us at this point of time. So step by step, 200 days weekly moving average will be the first immediate support. Okay, that will be what we are looking at. So next, we will be going to see, let me just put the arrow first, and then we will see where it goes. Okay, so it's either here, or you can wait for the pull back and then it go down. All right, so remember we are actually biased on the downside. So if you want to change, I will prefer to wait for some pullback for me to short it again. Okay, so that's my take. Next is actually on Nasdaq itself. Nasdaq, which I also stated last week itself. As you mentioned, as you can see, Nasdaq eyeing for 40k next support. All right, so this is 21st October. I buyers more on downside, eyeing 200 days moving average 14,000. Where are we at right now? This is a day chart. The low of last Thursday, it went to 14,052, 52 points shy away from my target profit, which is 14,000, and then it has some minimal mini upside. So I think this mini upside is supported by Amazon, if I remember correctly. I think Amazon has released good earnings report itself. Let me take a look. All right, so you can see Amazon actually kept up. It's because of the earning itself. Without Amazon, I think most likely Nasdaq will hit or cross 14,000 last Friday. So, and once it crossed 14,000, maybe trigger a lot of stop loss, and it will actually trigger a more wide, more sell down at this point of time or at this junction. So, eyeing heavily on 14,000, that you will break on next week itself. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so this is what we'll be looking. Of course, we are just like 180 or 200, less than 200 points to hit. So where will we be looking if, let's say, Nasdaq go below that on 14,000? All right, so we'll be looking at the next area will be at 13,005. This is quite a good sign. Or otherwise, you can draw some Fibo over here, and then we will see where is the next area. So I think at current situation, where market is so volatile or so bearish sentiments, this is what we will be looking at for next week. Okay, so if let's say it break, then this is where we will be looking at. Okay, so just simply write 28 October 2023. If break 14k, eyeing 13,500. Okay, so 50% Fibo level. Alright, so this is what I will be looking at for coming weeks, especially right now, not at a good sign. Because all you know, or perhaps you guys know that when we come down, we take a leaf to come down. When we go up, we take stairs, right? So when it really come down, it's a falling knife. We will be penetrate very fast enough. So this is what we will be looking at. All right, so eyeing more on the downside for Nasdaq as well. So next we will be looking at, to recap on Meta, Facebook. Congratulations if you have followed. So this is what I mentioned on 21st, which is somewhere around here. Okay, I say buyers 3 TAs signal downside. If you have shorted, it go down to 280. and then it actually rebound or cap up on last Friday itself. But I think this cap up is short-lived. It's not going to last through. I guess this is a good rebound for us, for people who want to catch on more on the downside itself. So you can actually play your stand whether you want to go more on the bearish like me. Then you have to plan your own trading positions or trading setup for yourself. All right, so otherwise I am still biased, remain biased. Okay, so update. Okay, remain downside bias, so this is my update. Okay, so that is for Meta. And then next is actually Uber technology. Alright, so 21st, I also mentioned watch out for the 350 etern resistance. So in fact, it did. So on 21st, Monday itself, Tuesday, Wednesday, it gapped down. Alright, it gapped up and then it gapped down. So right now it's flow below 40, and then on Friday itself, it closed at 41.23. So I'm still on the bearish bias as well. So just update 28 October, remain downside bias. Okay, so that is my take for Uber as well. I believe it may cross these 200 days moving average. All right, may cross. Okay, so that is my take for Uber. Next, just to update J&J, I shared when 21st October. If you pay attention, which is 1 week, this whole week candle actually save you. Alright, which I mentioned, break below long-term ascending support, went lower to touch 150, another support level before rebound. Watch out, break below 150, it will send it lower. After it broke 150, right now, close at 145. You are $5 way below the support level. Alright, please do not hold and pray. Alright, please do not hold and pray and waiting for this thing to happen over here. If this thing to happen over here, in between the week or next week, it should show some green candle. Otherwise, it will be kind of like bearish for J&J. I know it's a big counter, yeah, but don't go against the rules or don't go against the falling knife, right? Let it fall, and then once it's well supported, sign of recovery, then we'll pick it up. All right. Otherwise, please just stay away from this kind of falling knife. I don't see any support right now. I guess I'm putting 130 for the next support level. Just briefly draw from here, or you can do your own Fibonacci if you want to. So right now it's already break below. We are looking more on the downside for J&J, and then this is what we will be looking at. So 28 October 2023, update, buyers downside, eyeing 130 next support level. Okay, so this is my take for J&J. Alright, let's take a look what else we will be looking at. Okay, I remember I talked about solar sector is not going to do well. So hopefully you guys pay attention. I did stated here. Alright, watch out for solar ETF. After this Solar Edge actually slashed their third quarter revenue guidance, sent the stock down 27%. It's not going to do good for solar sector as well. So it may continue to drop. We don't see any sign of green. So just stay away. Next week, we know that it's earnings report Apple. If Apple used to be the one that bring up for Nasdaq and hold it on firmly, if Apple is going to give way, I think it will bring more chaotic for Nasdaq index itself. All right. So next week, Apple earnings report may be the one that able to save Nasdaq. Otherwise, it will be a bloodbath. All right, so pay attention. If you are holding any Nasdaq or perhaps you are holding any Apple shares, uh, do some protective, on your position itself, okay, or on your portfolio. Next thing we will be looking at counters to watch out because there is only earnings report for AMD. So let's take a look for AMD itself. Okay, so for AMD weekly, all right, this is very long ago it hit. All right, very long ago it hit. So let me remove. Okay, so this is used to be what I draw some important level, 100 point. I will always draw at those round figure. So otherwise, right now from the chart perspective, break below 100. First, 200-day moving average, see will it be supported or not, which is the 85. But like I say, I'm bearish on the uh, Nasdaq itself. So we'll see how AMD performs, especially we know that Nvidia is dropping down. It may pull the whole industry where the brother is coming down. So correlated industry, we can look at Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing. You can see that okay, this is quite this is quite long ago, 13 August, break below. All right, revisit support the resistance double 1 2, so it's not a good sign. This is I draw way before 13 in August. All right, I say that it will after break 200-day it will come down to $80, which it takes few months. Right now it came true. All right, so I simply just have to shift it lower and move it over and I'm done. Correct or not? This is draw in 13 August. Okay, so I just leave it there and then we'll see how it work it out. All right, so buyers downside support at $80. Okay, so yes, it's break below 200 days. It's not a good sign. I think for semiconductor for chips itself might have some tough time, especially they have been performing well like Nvidia's for the last few months, right? So I think there will be profit takings or there's some changes coming up from the chart as you can see some evidence. So do watch out on the counter that you're holding with it right now. Okay, so that's all for this week Weekly Market Update. I mean, there's a lot for me to share, but hopefully you guys pick it up one or two and then put into your watch list, or at least you are protected from what I have been sharing. Then, thank God you are being safe. All right, so see you guys next week, and then remember to share and like my video. And that's all. Goodbye.